I'll make a video discussing um why I observe in this country, the U.S., that communication um tends to let's just say, 'cause I did refer to Edward Snowden and a few folks, folks like Bradley, but we're not discussing that form of communication. Um, it's just that um, it could just be the time period. I doubt it is. For the most part, um, I have made observations based on um, what I've observed. Um, for the most part, for the most part, it is very dependent on literally the street. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, for the most part, there's not that much freedom of speech in this country. Of course, there is, you know, it, but that definition is like getting arrested for, you know, blasphemy against foreign leader in our countries. I have to conduct more research on that because oftentimes, oftentimes there's like other things that are missed or something. So it could be just an oversimplification, something much different. It's just that um, I, I actually done research and I thought it was the coffee too. I'm serious. I actually thought it must be the coffee, right? And I'm like, it's a little more than that. First of all, um, the thing is, when you compare coffee and tea, coffee um, is great for completing a task, but tea is slightly better for understanding. Understanding what exactly? I don't know. Just because I have observed um things in this country. So now um the problem is for coffee in the U.S. is that um let's just say, even if you like dropped out of school, the coffee as the you as a very common drink, it doesn't feel like I dropped out of school, right? Like I did drop out of college, but for some reason, because of all these coffee drinkers, it doesn't really felt, I didn't really felt like I dropped out of college, which is like, it doesn't make sense because formerly I did, but I'm just like, it doesn't really add up, right? Because why is that? It's because a lot of people drink coffee, right? Um, it's just like, it makes me think that I'm interacting with a bunch of Ivy League students all over the place. I'm just like, I'm not even in an Ivy League college. The nearest Ivy League college is at least 1,000 miles away from Seattle. It's just like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Um, I get the sense that coffee makes people more condescending, and I'm not sure what it is. Just of course there are tons of bars in the big cities. There's plenty of drunks. There's that, and all right, so let's discuss um something important. I'm debating between discussing evolution or um in the old, folks, Albert Einstein, Sigmund Freud, um, Hippocrates. Tired of this one. Um, I'm a little conflicted on which topic is more important. Um, regardless, with coffee, I mean, there's plenty of coffee, drinkers in Canada, you I suppose other developed countries like, France, Japan, Germany, Italy, I'm sure there's plenty of coffee there. Um, but the U.S. is definitely known. The big cities in the U.S. are definitely known for their coffee drinkers. Uh, I'm not sure what to discuss. I could discuss even Jordan Peterson. Just, just that coffee is such a integral part of society that it just, I don't know, like, I watch shows that involve mostly. I've watched shows where the setting is in a universe that only has tea or has limited coffee, right? I have watched those. It's just such a you know, different, it's just a different experience. Like, coffee just makes people very serious minded. I don't know, I just get the sense that, they think they're right. It just, coffee just makes people more argumentative in that way. I don't know, it's just, I'm not sure what that is. I found the explanation for it. Um, yeah, I never imagined that you're a coffee addict. I just literally cannot stop drinking that. Let's see. Alright, what evolution, is evolution is that um most of these processes occurred before we were even born. So of course it still happens from animals and plants and other microorganisms. It's just such an abstract concept. Let's see. I haven't really like evolution is very different from biology. Um, it got me thinking that when I'm mentioning coffee, it's actually closer to world history than anything in the science. Um, let's see. Um, I also realized something. Tea makes the emotions that arise when someone when a when a whole culture of tea drinkers, it just you just get the sense that I don't know, like you have two folks, babbling and you know discussing things around circles, circular reasoning, that type of stuff. Not necessarily circular reasoning, like not really much closure. Have you noticed, like, in the last 20 years, there's so many books now that focus on goals and mindsets and all that stuff. You never, before the advent of, coffee in society, you would never find anything like that, right? Um, You wouldn't find a single book on that, right? Instead, you have more like wishy-washy concepts, yin yang, or like, you I don't know what the Western equivalent was, but like, but I've read summaries of like Aristotle and Plato and stuff, and just you get the sense that you know, get the sense that the concept of these motivational gurus would be completely foreign.